Welcome to season 3 of Perfect the Craft. Okay, and we're going to be going over just some options from when you see a turtle. It looks like this. What's up? My name is Andy from Dojo Outfitters. Welcome to season 3 of Perfect the Craft. I'm here with
Ryan Roberts.
Okay, and we're going to be going over just some options from when you see a turtle. It looks like this. So starting for this turtle position, right, we're going to crack this elbow space open with our back knee. So I'm going to come in, I lead with my knee and slide in, and get to this dominant position here. So in this position in the turtle, right, a lot of times when I would see the turtle, I would try and play behind the person. So I will look to maybe pull the person back, right, and start to look for a back take from here, okay? Those routes still exist, but what I like about this move is my knee oftentimes could really crack through this elbow defense here. So sometimes you'll see people trying to get their foot in and they're trying to get that hook in, right? In this case, I'm gonna bring my knee and almost like baseball slide my knee through that position. I'm bringing my knee and I'm bringing my hips with me. Okay, so it's a very physically dominating position to get into. Okay, and now you can see my knee's in position and we could progress the move. So one of the details of this position is that if we play behind this person, right, we kind of give them multiple escape routes. If Ryan wants to Granby roll and roll over the shoulder, right, he can. And now I have to deal with this open guard. Okay. If he wants to roll over this far shoulder, he could also do that. I'm trying to hold on. He rolls over. Now I have to deal with this open guard again. Okay? But in this case, okay, where I put my knee inside here, it kind of takes those two immediate rolling routes away. If he tries to roll over the shoulder, right, I can always base back. And look how my knee is on the mat. He can't roll over this shoulder. Okay? He comes back. He tries to roll over the knee shoulder. Right? He's rolling into my body, into my lat here. So that escape route is also gone. Okay? So now that we find ourselves here, I challenge you guys at home and on YouTube watching us, be patient here. See what this person will try and do, and we can always capitalize off of the mistakes that they make in this position. Knee in, slide in, we get to this dominant position here. Okay? If this hand's already floating in space, right, I'm going to step up and drag my heel back and collect this limb. We could even sit on it. So there is an arm bar here. If I could lace this arm and bring it back, right? In this transition, if I use my inner thigh and keep my heel off the mat, I could actually hyperextend my opponent's arm here, right? His thumb is down. It's trapped behind my Achilles, okay? I could always reach my arm down and pull my heel to my butt. I will get the tap there too. It could be a circumstance where his arm gets entangled here. It is possible to get the armbar from there. If that's your goal, definitely try and get his thumb down to the mat, and you really want to feel the connection, right, of my inner thigh and even your arm to a certain extent of bringing this elbow down, okay, as I bring my heel to my butt. In this case, I'm going to have my hand come through the armpit. I'm going to grab his whole meat of his hand here, okay? I'm going to tuck my head. I'm going to roll over my shoulder that's already in my opponent. Put my hand on the mat. I'm going to tomahawk my heels to get over. Now look, we're gonna roll into the crucifix position here. So a good way to remind yourself which way to roll, okay? First of all, I want to keep my legs tight, right? We want to keep this limb. But a good direction to roll, I'm gonna roll over the shoulder that I have threaded through my opponent. So this is my free shoulder. I'm not gonna roll over this shoulder. I'm gonna roll over the shoulder that's already threaded. So you can put your hand down. I'm gonna tuck my head. Right, and look how I almost use my heels as like a pendulum to come through. Okay, when we're in this position here, I'm going to get my key device. I'm going to follow his jawline. Okay, we get nice and tight and close to that chin. I'm going to fold the collar over. Okay, my thumb is in here. Now to finish this choke, I'm going to let this hand go and open up my arm. I'm trying to get my bicep to his elbow. So we want to talk briefly about this wrist control, okay? There's multiple ways we could get this hand behind the back. The first way, right, sometimes the common way to escape this position, if I have just the wrist, is people try and wrist hike out of it. That's hard to keep a hold of, right, if I grab the wrist, okay? But people not familiar with this actual position here, if they try the same technique, right, I'm actually going to ride that out, and look what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some pressure on the shoulders so they bridge. I'm going to suck this hand into the small of their back here, right? And that's a tap right there too, okay? The reaction, right, comes from his wrist trying to move, but also I like to put some pressure by opening my right leg on his shoulder. I open my right leg, he tries to bridge. We're gonna take this whole device, suck it in, and up to the small of his back, right? And we get a tap there. So if this person's kind of squirming around and they're trying to ride this wrist out, we can use that to our advantage. Okay, I'm gonna let this hand go. I'm gonna very briefly reach and grab the far lapel collar here. Okay, if I can, I wanna get my hands as close together as possible. Okay, so if I land here, I can always kind of like inch my hand up, and now my hands are touching. That's gonna make for a solid choke. Okay, now for this collar choke, right, my first hand's pulling the lapel across this near side neck. My second hand is actually pulling the collar across the far side neck. Okay, so we want our hands to be tight. Now when I get this far, okay, I want my elbows to stick to my body. I'm gonna think about doing a nice tight tricep extension down to my belt. Okay, everything's coming in and down my body. Okay, another thing that we wanna be aware of is the backing of this choke. Okay, I have to use my chest and my back as a backboard for this choke. What we don't want to do is get this far and then open up my body, right? And then we're going to get stacked here, okay? We don't want this to happen. What we do want to happen is almost like the opposite. Show your chest, right? Push your back into this position here. So when I get this far, watch how I do a big tricep extension and show my chest. Okay, my wrist is rigid. I'm gonna put the back of my hand behind the base of his skull. Now from here, I'm gonna snap my elbow, pull the collar across his neck, and slice my hand down to his spine. So we wanna give you another option from this position, okay? A nice sneaky back take. And what we're actually gonna use to expose this back is this device with my leg here, okay? If I open up my knee, I'm still gonna keep control of this limb, but if I open up my knee, I'm gonna put some pressure on my opponent's shoulder here. And all I want him to do is, yeah, exactly, bridge up, okay? As he bridges up, my bottom leg is actually gonna sneak through, right? And come through on the near side hip, right? Now, I'm gonna bring my feet, step up and close my feet together here. Boom. Okay? Still have the choking hand. Snap my elbow down, lean back, and finish the choke. And this is just an option for when you come across turtle. A lot of varieties that you could go from there. This is just a few of them. If you guys like the content, make sure you guys subscribe down below. And as always, follow us on Instagram at dojooutfitters. Mahalo.